Let's talk about the back page characters today. We're going to start off with Edge Shot, 7 hand size, 19 health. After you review an attack, your non-attack cards get -1 difficulty and -1 to their block modifiers until the start of your next turn. So that's pretty solid defense, giving everything -1 speed effectively, and you can build a lot more like 3 difficulty foundations or 3 difficulty, 4 difficulty assets than other characters could. After you review a non-attack card, your attacks get +1 speed and +1 damage until the start of your next turn. That feels awesome as a 7-hander. If you're able to review more than 1 card per turn, get it to +2/+2, +3/+3, then this character is going to feel incredible. Overall, I'm going to put Edge Shot in the B tier. Doesn't quite feel consistent enough to be higher than that. You are 19 health. This is not Eraserhead 1 level of defense. It feels fun, strong, but not super strong. Not A tier. Full Body Skewer, 6 diff, 3 low, 7. Terrible stats for a 6 diff. Enhanced Commit 1 Foundation. This turn, after you play an attack, discard 1 card and draw 1 card. The discarded card counts as being reviewed. Okay, so basically this is a 7 difficulty attack. But it's setting up every attack after this, you're getting an additional +1/+1 from the Edge Shot response. That feels strong. You're also getting to filter your hand and continually look for attacks. But it is a 7 difficulty. Discard 1 momentum. If this attack is completely blocked, remove it after it resolves. So it's an attack that recognizes that it's a super high difficulty, so it's trying, if you get to remove it, then it's helping your progressive for the rest of the turn. But those are 2 big ifs. If you have a momentum, if it's completely blocked. Overall, I'm putting it in the C tier. Really don't see this finding a lot of play. Of course, you're playing it in Edge Shot. But yeah, you check a 3 on it and it's just going to feel terrible. You're a 19 health character. You just lost the game because you checked a 3 on this. And it's a punch weapon, so you could use like repeated 100% smash. Maybe that would be interesting on like Void. I'm not sure. All right, 1000 Sheet Pierce, 3 high 5, 4 diff, 2 check is a 2 check. So it feels like they're really scared of this character. They're making this attack a 2 check. They're making this attack a 7 difficulty. Like they recognize that bottom response could get too powerful. Okay, discard 1 card and draw 2 cards. Discarded card counts as being reviewed. After you play this card, the next attack played this turn gains flash, and that can be used on defense as well. So if you block with this, you give your rival's next attack flash. That feels very, very strong. Discard 1 and draw 2 is awesome. So I could see this finding play outside of Edge Shot. I'm going to put it in the B tier. I think the 2 check probably holds it back a little bit. If this card really wanted to see widespread play, widespread play, it would have better stats. It would be just a little bit better, maybe like 3 high 6 or 4. I don't know. It just needs a little something more. As it is, B tier. It's solid. Number 4, Pro Hero, 2 difficulty, 3 mid block. After you review this card, if you have 2 or more foundations, build it face down. Only 1 copy of this ability can be played this turn. Okay, so if you discard it with 1000 Sheet Pierce, you basically just get to free build it. Enhance, add this card to your hand. Your rival's attack gets -2 speed. You're adding a ready foundation to your hand to give it -2 speed, so effectively that's -1 speed. It's not a good block modifier, so 3 mid block. I think that enhance is kind of nothing. You're basically playing this for the free build. I would think this was a lot better if you didn't have to have foundations all ready to build it. If you could use it on your turn 1 going second, just review it and build it, and then it helps your build. I understand why they didn't want that to happen, but as it is, I really don't see this being that playable outside of Edge Shot or the Lurkers. Kamui Woods, 6 hand size, 25 health. After your rival's review step, you may review 1 card and draw 1 card. After you review a card, increase your maximum health by 1 and gain 1 health. Theoretically infinite health character. That's pretty neat. Enhance once per turn. Add 1 card from your discard pile to your card pool. It does not count towards progressive difficulty. Of course, you're going to be adding things that hurt your rival and help you. 25 health. Feels like they respected. Feels like they knew that this character could feel really oppressive, similar to Recovery Girl. So they started him a little low. I would have liked him to have started at like 28 health, 27 health. Because he's not doing anything super, super powerful. Just getting to add something to your card pool, that's nice. Like you can add something that gives all your attacks 1 speed, but that's not like incredible. So I'm going to put this character in the B- tier. Sometimes he's going to feel awesome. Most of the time he's going to be pretty basic. He gets this action, Arbor. You may choose not to clear this during the end phase. Enhance, this attack is +4 damage or -3 speed. That's pretty good for a 2 difficulty action. Response, card pool, after you review a card, add 1 face-up foundation to your hand, build this card face down. So you could add a committed face-up foundation to your hand, maybe a block zone that you need, build this card. It's like you got to ready something. Breaker 1. This is fine. Probably not going to see play outside of Kamui because it's an action. And, you really have to be insane as an action to find consistent play in this game. In Kamui, you're probably going to be playing it, so I'll put it at a B-. Then he gets this ultra rare Lacquered Chain Prison, 5 diff, 5 low 4. After this card is revealed, your rival commits 1 and flips 1 ready. That's nice, but most of the time we don't want to review our attacks. We want to keep our attacks in our hand. Combo Enhance, this gets +3 damage, end this enhanced step. It combos with the breaker. That's going to be really hard for anybody not Kamui. Of course, with Kamui, we get this foundation that's a breaker and this action that's a breaker, and you can just add them to your card pool. So it's going to be pretty easy if you're Kamui Woods. Outside of him, it's going to be really hard. Deadlock Response, it gets +3/+3. That's nice, but we don't play attacks just for deadlock. Unless it's like insane deadlock, which this is just good. It's just nice to have. It's understated for a 5 diff. +3 damage. Even then, a 5 low 7 is nothing really crazy. And this enhanced step is interesting. I don't think this card is that good. C+ tier. Maybe you play it if you're Kamui. It's gonna feel bad to open this, ultra rare in your Jetburn boxes. All right, 1 difficulty foundation, 3 mid block. While this card is in your card pool, rival block modifiers get +1. All right, so there you go. All of your attacks are basically getting +1 speed if you're Kamui. Commit, discard 1 card and draw 1 card. The discarded card counts as being reviewed. This is going to be very, very strong for the Lurkers. It's going to be pretty terrible for anybody else. It shares the life and has the life and good symbol, which we already have that 3 low block weapon foundation that says commit, discard, draw 1. We basically never see that finding play unless you're like Momo and you just care about having weapon foundations. This is going to be the same way. Like, it's not going to see play anywhere except for the Lurkers where they care about having a card reviewed. It's going to feel awesome if you're playing like Edge Shot on the good symbol or like Mount Lady on the Earth symbol to be able to review. But outside of the Lurkers, it's going to be pretty terrible. So C+. And again, a lot of these grades are kind of suffering because when I grade cards, I'm looking at a general view of the card and not a character specific view. Because of course, this is like, A or B tier in Lurkers. It's just that I'm looking at it from a everybody point of view. All right, Mount Lady, 6 hand size, 30 health. After you review 1 more cards, add 1 size character to this card for each card reviewed. So this is for each card reviewed. If you have 3 or more size counters, your attack is +3 damage. If you have 5 or more, your rival commits 1 face-up foundation. Basically, once you get to 5, which Mount Lady is going to get to very, very quickly, all of your attacks get +3 damage and stun 1. That feels awesome. Remove 10 size counters. This attack becomes unblockable. That's basically going to be once per game. It's going to be very, very rare that that happens twice in a game. Unblockable is interesting, so you can make these just massive attacks that your rival can't do anything about. But we do get quite a few ways to deal with attacks other than blocking them. We get like a Broken Psyche, change it to 2. You can like Spooky it. You get all sorts of resets. And, if you're Mirio and Cammy, you can just take it to 0 damage. It is going to be hard to get to 10 pretty quickly. This character feels to me almost exactly like Endeavor 3. And if you remember, I gave Endeavor 3, I put him in the A- tier. I feel like this character is a little less consistent than Endeavor 3 because I liked Endeavor 3's ability to go grab his best attack out of his remove from game pile so that when he was ready to kill you, he's then a 7-hander with his best attack. But with Mount Lady, the unblockable thing is nice, but I don't think it's going to be as important as the Endeavor 3 going to grab something. I'm going to put this character in the B tier. Maybe I'm underselling this character. When I first read this character, I immediately thought A tier. The more I've kind of considered it, I think B tier is probably fair. Maybe B+. Canyon Cannon, 5 high, 3, 5 diff. Mill 2, attack is +1 damage for each different symbol. Cards milled to play for this ability count as being reviewed. So it's at least a 5 high 6, or it could be a 5 high 8. Because all of your cards have to share at least 1 symbol, so 5 is the maximum damage boost that you can get from that. But that's going to be 2 size counters. Or if you're playing this in like Edge Shot or Kamui, you get their effects as well. I'm going to put it in the B- tier. It's not bad. You're playing it if you're a lurker. You're not playing it if you're not. Titan Cliff, 6 diff, 5 high 6. Discard up to 3 cards, draw 1 card for each card discarded. That's awesome. That's latent skill, except even better. Discarded cards count as being reviewed. Again, you're going to really like this if you're a lurker. If you're Mount Lady, this is 3 size counters on 1 attack. That's awesome. You know, you're going to get to that +1, +3 on your turn 2 by playing this card. You may build 1 card with a check value of 6 from your hand or discard pile. That's awesome. So it's not really a 6 difficulty attack. It's really a 5 difficulty attack. And it's a 5 difficulty attack that's allowing you to discard 3 and draw 3. I could actually see this finding play outside of the lurkers. It does have the Fury keyword, which is pretty strong. Slam doesn't mean too much. Mount Lady powerful 3. So I'm going to put it B+ because I do think that other people will play this. Basically a 5 difficulty attack that discards 3 and draws 3. There's a lot of, you know, as long as you're playing some check values of 6. Of course, Mount Lady 1 is going to be in love with this card. I'm kind of blanking on thinking of 6 difficulty things. I'm sure there's a lot. Like, I guess it'd be crazy if we still had coordinated effort. Takoyaki on the Earth symbol, build in that asset. Basically, then that says that says enhance. This gets +2 damage and draw 1 card. It's pretty neat. 2 difficulty, 6 check, 23 pro hero. Before your review step, if you have less cards in your hand than your rival, draw 1 card. Okay, so you're always going to have a card to review, and it gives you another cycle in case you need. Hold on, it thinks I'm speaking. Let's wait here. How do I get rid of this? All right, there we go. If you have 3 or more counters on your character, your attacks get +1 speed. So if you get to free build this in, now everything really is getting +2, +3. Now you really are just Endeavor 3. This feels good if you're Mount Lady or if you're a counter character. If you're not a counter character, you really don't care about this card. All right, Inasa, 6 hand size, 29 health. Destroy 1, ready 1. Commit 1 foundation. After an attack is played, it gets +X or -X speed. X equals the difficulty of the committed foundation. So if you commit a 3 diff, you're getting +3 or -3 speed. And then you can always ready something. That feels good. Like on the death symbol, you could get spooky. You know, use spooky and then just ready spooky. I'm sure there's a lot of really cool tricks that you could use here. Overall, I'm going to go in the B tier. Commit 1 foundation is a real cost. Destroy a foundation is a real cost. We're not on the good and earth symbols where we just build foundations like crazy out of our discard pile. This is air, death, and water. Yeah, so I'm going to go B tier, but I could see myself being surprised by this character. Gusty Buffet, 5 diff, 4 low 2. If you have less foundations than your rival, it gets -1 difficulty. If you're not in deadlock, this attack is +1 damage for each of your ready foundations. All right, so if you have like 8 foundations, this is going to be a 4 low 10. That's awesome. It is a 5 difficulty attack, and then it basically says you're not allowed to go into deadlock. So you're only going to be playing this attack in characters where you're easily destroying, or if you have like a game plan where you easily destroy your own stage. Of course, in Inasa, you'll always be able to get both of these effects off, pretty much. So very, very strong in Inasa. I can see this card finding a lot of play outside of them. I'm going to put it in the B+ tier. It feels like it just needed a little something more, maybe a little more consistency to be in the A tier, but very, very strong. I think it's going to be a fun card to play. Then we get this 3 diff, Heroic Passion. After this card is committed due to a stun ability or to pay the cost of an ability, draw 1 card. Of course, in Inasa, this is a must play. Commit for +3 speed and draw 1, and then you're just going to get to ready it and then use it on your rival's turn for -3 speed and draw 1. That's going to feel awesome. Outside of Inasa, I don't see this fighting play at all. I'm going to put it in the C tier. Now, the C tier means it's not playable outside of Inasa, pretty much. In Inasa, you're definitely playing this card. And that is going to do it for these characters. That's, you know, I already did Kami Utsushimi in a previous video and got to reveal her. I put her as a B+, put Inasa as a B, Mount Lady as a B, Kamui Woods as a B-, and Edshot as a B. So every single one of the 5 backpage characters is in the B tier for me. I think Kami Utsushimi is the best and Kamui Woods is the worst of the 5, but they're all in the B tier, so B is for backpage. And I think that's how it should be. You know, your backpage characters should not be your strongest. Your strongest characters should be the characters that are carrying the value of the set. Your Hawks, you know, Midoriya 5, your Shoto Todoroki 4, Ochako 4. Those are the characters that should be the strongest. And those are the characters that are the strongest in my opinion with this set. But the back page characters should be fun, and they should be interesting, and they shouldn't be bad. And these match all of those requirements perfectly. The Lurkers are giving you this whole new system of when you review a card, something good happens, and then they all share one or two symbols so that they can really synergize with each other. Inasa and Cammy get some very, very interesting abilities that we really haven't seen before. Yeah, so I think these back page characters are perfect from a design perspective. They're all going to be fun. They're all going to be interesting. They might not be winning any regionals, but I could see them topping a regional, making top 16. I could definitely see that. And that is going to do it for me today, guys. I'll see you guys next time.